Hey guys.
Hello.
Magtanong na kami.
Hi, I'm Wayne. I'm Star.
Hi.
He's Philippine Star. Okay, so my first question is, you guys work for Marvel, right?
Yeah.
Are you based in the Philippines?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I am based in the Philippines, yes.
Yeah, I'm based in the Philippines.
Yeah.
I wanted to be in the States, but I'm based in the Philippines.
That's awesome. So, I read in the green Stephen you started at 16.
Mm-hmm.
How did that feel? I bet like when you were younger, you started in your creating
Yeah.
illustrations. When you finally got your break, how did that
Well, when I was 12 years old, I think, I've been collecting lots of comic books. So at that time, so eager to, to be an artist, as a comic book artist. So I've been pushing myself. So I've been making lots of samples and then going to the publishers, and then they immediately rejected me because still young. During that time, I saw Funny Comics. It's a children's comic book, so since I'm still young, maybe I give my shot. Then they gave me a chance, so that's where I started.
Can you still remember, for the few, can you still remember the first comic book that made you fall in love with illustration?
First, actually, it's not really a comic book. Although I saw some comics when I was younger, it's really the how to draw comics the Marvel way. When I was 11 years old, my mom bought me that book. So that's what I've been drawing since I was like 4, I guess. That's as far as I can remember. But that book really sparked my interest, and I kind of took art a bit more seriously. And that book's really good as an instructional, and gave me some direction on what to work on and stuff like that with the anatomy and stuff like that. So it's more, it's not really a comic book per se, but it's still about comics.
So for me, my grandma collect comics like way back 1960s, 70s. So mga local, like mga Aliwan, I don't know if you heard about it. Aliwan, Pinoy classics, Pinoy comics, horror. The only comics that entertain mga Filipino way back. Like we didn't have everyone cannot afford cinema. So comics is the best thing. You can hold it in your hand. You can control the scene. Flip, going to the other page. It's like you're the one watching the movies, but you're the one who controls what will happen. But in the end, because Filipino are very fond of entertainment through comic books, they're waiting every week for this because the comic book way back is every week, weekly. So when my grandma collect a lot of comic book, when I see it's like, oh my god, comic book really tell a good story. What if, since my dad is a painter, what if I draw something like this, tell a story for everyone? And when I reached grade 4, grade 6, I first see the X-Men by Jim Lee. So culture shock. Like when you compare the comic book, the States and sa atin, sobrang kakaiba. Like Wolverine have clothes. Then you see the comic book, then pagdating ng Friday, Ibis will show the X-Men, like you get so shocked, oh my god, I want to be a comic book artist. Then when I asked my dad, I want to be a comic book artist, and my dad's like, it's impossible since you are from Bukidnon. The best way to have a job is to be a policeman and a teacher. So you're masikat ka pag policeman, teacher. Police is everyone call you sir, the same as teacher. So yeah, so that's how we as a kid, I think you guys are same, but technology now more powerful. We as a kid, I think comics was the center for us for entertainment, and it's one way to learn to read. So that's the best thing. Yeah. So I think that's what get me into comics.
have my last question now. How important is technical skill when like creating illustrations or making it big? Because you know, like a lot of kids, especially like kids here, I bet they learn on their own. So how important is it to actually read the book or do workshop?
Actually, most comic book artists, I believe, learned on their own. Just, especially now with the internet, everything you need to learn is on YouTube. And the great, good artists have their galleries, DeviantArt and websites. So there's actually more resources now than what we had back then. So and then it's a misconception that you have to go to comic book school to get good. Actually, there have been a lot of comic book schools in the States that they haven't really been producing artists that are professional. So it's really up to you. If you draw a lot and that's your passion, you just keep drawing. You could really learn on your own. Just look at the stuff of the people you admire and compare yourself, or just at the start maybe just try to copy and then later on do your own thing. So it's very technical skill is very important if you want to work on Marvel comics and mainstream comic books in general, because and you can do it on your own. And there's the internet, which is really tremendous.
Well, just like Leinil said, internet is easy to reach. If you want to be an artist or you want to be a comic book artist, you can just browse it, Google it, whatever you need, it's in there. You don't need to buy a lot of books.
Yeah.
Unlike before,
You really don't need any books.
yeah, you need to go to National Library or
Yeah.
can we start off this? No, I don't know. So it's actually up to you. You just have to keep pushing. There's ups and downs. It's normal. So just like that. You just have to spend more time drawing. Stop playing Dota. PlayStation. Like spend like 5 hours straight. You'll get used to it. At first, it's hard because you get easily burned out. But it is what it is. It's like going to gym. You want to be a hunk like him? Like Jason, leave that marble, leave that pencils. It's this one.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think technical is this is the same with you guys. Like if you're gonna go for some interview or something like this, like you need to learn what you're going through. So it's the same with the artist. You need to learn what you're going through, because when you're here, di ba, parang pagdating mo, you ask like, paano niyo po drawing si ano? Then it's bad if you don't know kung ano yung tatanong mo, where you're gonna tackle it. Mas mahirapan ka. So the best way to learn is study first before going to the war or before going to the certain ganito na event. So the same, artists need to practice, artists need to draw, and just Neil said like, right now sobrang powerful that you can learn by your own in your house with one laptop, one internet and everything. Sobrang easy, but it's up pa rin who these people are. If you wanted to dream to be an artist, then you have the chance because you will do everything to be one. But if you just dream to be pasikat lang sa Facebook because of the likes, then you can do that too. Because sometimes, hindi mo talaga may bigo. Likes boast someone's energy, no matter what. Diba? Parang nag-post ka lang ng lips, like, how to lips, Angelina Jolie, Brangelina, something. Diba? Likes mo, thousands, 1.5 thousand in 1 hour. Then it will boast yourself. The same with an artist, we need to draw, keep on drawing, and people will like it, but you cannot please everybody. The same with your Brangelina lips. You cannot tell everybody that you have the Brangelina lips or something. So yeah, it's the same thing. You need to learn. There's no such thing as overnight superstar or something. Yeah? So you need to learn everything as much as possible. And I think media is the most powerful people now that can tell the world that this is what they do. This is what the artists do. This is what the people train that would inspire another people to be an artist too. So it's vice versa. So we need to be skillful. We need to learn everything, and you guys need something like that. Like it's a workable. It's a workable. It's a skill. It's not a talent. Way back, I don't know. Neil, I think it's talent. Neil was so young, break into Marvel, show that can kick some ass and Wolverine. The same with Stephen, but as I go along, I think it's also a skill that it needs to develop. Because once you got the talent, then you just sitting around doing nothing.
It's actually weird because, like, you get. Well, of course, I believe in there's talent, there's aptitude. Like singing, there's people who are tone deaf who can never sing. If you give them 100 years, it's just a biological limitation. But like you get good with there's this hypothesis about the 10,000 hour thing, right? But the thing is, like we probably drew for thousands of hours or 20,000 hours or more. But it wasn't really a conscious effort. We're just addicted to drawing. It's just a compulsion. When I was in high school,
just have passion.
I mean, when the teacher is explaining or we're taking the tests, I was actually drawing on the back of the test papers or notebook. So it's not like, oh, you should practice. I just couldn't help myself. I just kept drawing. So I got good at it, but it was just a compulsion. It was just an addiction. So I was lucky in that sense.
Hi, Catherine. Wondering, CD ago and during his talk that you have to undergo a process before you get in the sort of CD or expert. So, what did you have to do?
He said there's a process.
There's a process. Maybe training or something.
It's like sometimes there are artists who are just really glaringly good that they should be hired, no questions about. So they can just go straight to a high profile book and just. But if you're starting out, like if you're if most people, you have to still hone your craft, and the way to do that is work on smaller projects first, not directly at Marvel. So just basically, even in writing jobs, diba? Sometimes it's very similar actually. You work for free. You work for exposure and stuff like that, but you're getting better while doing it. So maybe that's what he's talking about. Like, you try to slowly improve yourself and getting your work out there and improving your craft, and then eventually when you've proven yourself, and then not only that, you've leveled up, you've gotten better. So Marvel will. CV, if you're worth the CV, then he'll have no choice but to hire you.
You get discovered or you apply?
You probably get both. Sometimes you can just me. I broke in before the internet, so my work had to be shown to someone at a convention. So yeah. But right now you can just be discovered. Just have a Facebook page, and people talk about you and stuff like that.
You're posting online.
But you win the wizard, you know.
But that was really. It wasn't the thing that got me the. It wasn't the thing that got me. Yeah, it's like years after I wasn't a professional when I won. I was just it wasn't. Yeah.
I think what CB means is you have to be ready. You have to be you need to know the rules. It's not just like I draw comics and that's it. There's such thing as reader flow.
Yes.
You need to know the perspective, layout, anatomy, and stuff. Maybe that's what he's talking about. You should iron that steel before bringing it to war.
Nah, that's not words.
Like that. Big words.
Something
like that. You just have to be ready. Because once you break into comics, the hardest thing is to maintain.
Yes.
If you can't maintain, then
maraming nabigyan ng chance because they just disappear.
Just give up. Kasi mahirap makapasok kasi you need to do lots of samples. May ibang samples na you give everything. Then when you bring it to CD, there's something wrong. Pero that's a good thing kasi nakikita niya yung mali. And then you're gonna adjust it to susunod sa samples. Pero once you enter ka na, you have deadlines and stuff, forget social media. Siguro mayroon ka ng 3 hours a day. Or make it 2.
Yeah.
Then social life, inom. Really.
I lose 3 hours a day sa Facebook.
Yeah. Or kasi like me, I always want to work like 13 hours a day, or at least 12, sometimes 16 if you have deadlines. So, you have to forget everything. Magugulat ka na lang, ganito na pala sa labas. Kaya tindahan na pala dito, something like that.
How many hours?
I don't know, 6, 5. Lucky if I sleep like 6.
As a kid.
I have a family, so I have to balance everything. So if I have to work, I have to work.
Hard, yung question niya.
Ay, oo nga pala. Sorry. I think, kami kasi the first time we met is, some agent came here, something like that, discover some talent. But there are more than like 200, 300 people of us. But out of this number, parang dalawa lang kami nag-survive. But it's not that we are the best. Out of those 200, it's the rule of 10. Like, out of 100, there's 10 the best. So the 200 are 20 na the best. But most of these people, because they think they're the best, they will not work out so much. Like, ang galing ko na, then, ba't ako magpapasa ng iba ka? Because I know myself na magaling na ako. Then, that's the time na you will lose the opportunity. Unlike we, the two guys, like, sobrang geek talaga, we wanted to break in. Kung sinabi sa amin, do this one, we keep on going, repeating itself. 6 times, 7 times, the same pages, we keep on growing and growing. And people like, if we keep doing the same thing, tapos walang patutunguhan yan, people right now are easily give up. Because of the thing na, pwede naman tayong lumipat, ganito, we can find another thing. That's the time now we lose the opportunity. Like, artists will lose the opportunity because of the attitude of giving up. But because of the hard working, I think they stay for a while. Then yeah, that's what CD think. A lot of artists, Filipino artists, are really, really good. But when the agent oh my God, ang pangit naman ng kamay, nasasaktan ka agad. Put in the Facebook, sino nagsabi sa akin? Galit na ako. Pag nakita kita, pakan kita, di ba? Then you lose the thing that he can change it for like 30 minutes. Then he got break to the marble. Yeah, but now we are so sensitive. Counting ang laki ng mata, sino malaking mata? I like malaking mata. Then we lost the thing. That's what Marvel getting so hard to choose of the artist because of the character and everything. And for me, like everyone can break into Marvel. It's just that we need to work hard to get into that. So yeah, I hope it answers the question.
Yes.
Okay, Jason.
Jason Innocent sa Adobo Magazine. Who are your biggest artistic influences in comics?
Well, I've answered this before. First, it was Will Portacio because he was like my idol for a long time, and then he became a mentor. And then Travis Charest, just because he's like awesome and apart from those two, there's still a bunch of people, but those are probably the two that stands out and probably most noticeable in my work.
Oh, my biggest, sobrang bias ko. Yeah, si Leinil is my biggest. You will see my presentation.
Talaga?
Yeah. When I first met Leinil in UP,
Dito.
first Comic Con, tapos nakita ko siya, sabi ko, Neil, I'm Bisaya. From Cebu. I see you're studying high school in Cebu. Parang dinala ko pa siya. Parang kasi, akala ko magbibisaya siya. Sabi niya, yeah. Then, sabi ko, pwede mo magpa-drawing. Then he draw a lone wolf and cup for me. The first time I met Neil. Then I told him, can I stand here and watch you draw for everybody else? Just nag-drawing siya, hindi siya napagod. Lahat ng pumila sa Comic Con, not paying anything, he draws for everybody else. And that time, I decided na, eto yung idol ko. I'll be inspired to become an idol.
Thank you.
Hindi mo na malala yan.
Pero mas sobrang
Alas.
Okay, and another question lang. What is it about the comic medium that made you want to draw comics specifically? I mean, you could have been a painter or a sculptor or something. What is it about comics specifically?
I don't know. Maybe it's the as a child, you're drawn to superheroes and animation characters and cartoon characters, and I guess it's really the nature of superheroes. Imagine if, let's say, comics was about, I don't know, like historical. All comics are about historical events. No superheroes. I might not be too interested in it, right? I might be doing concept art now, but comics is more known, for, let's say, fantastic stuff and science fiction and stuff like. So I guess it's more of the genre, the characters. So yeah, it's more fun for kids.
Ayun, Harv, yung kay Leinil, what is it about comics that made you want to draw comics specifically? Not, you could have been a painter or something. What is it about comics that appealed to you?
For me, comics is like a low budget film for a certain person. Like you're only, kahit ikaw lang mag-isa, you can make a comic, write your own, color your own, and everything. You can make like a film in your own imagination. Like, ganito na pala nangyayari dito, naglalaban sila. But when people see it, hindi naman nila nakikita. But you can, you're like a kid. When you're in a comic book, when you draw, even now, like sobrang tanda ako na 35, I think 35, still I'm thinking like 7, 8 years old when I'm drawing comics. See, the word, there's still a word inside of this paper. Like, those characters are real in that universe. Then when you draw it, if you feel it, then you can tell the story well. But if you just draw for like drawing like, people can tell that, no, I think he doesn't like this plot, he doesn't like this character, because it doesn't show on the art, on the paneling that he does. Yeah, so yeah, that's the special about comic.
Yeah, that's what Mark Miller likes about it too. Yeah, he's basically making his own movies. Yeah, and with comics, it doesn't matter if you're doing like a romantic comedy and a big summer blockbuster. It's the same budget basically. So he gets to do whatever. So I guess like what Harvey said, comics is a great medium for telling whatever story you want to tell.
Final question now, guys. Which of any work, whether Marvel, DC, or with Millar, which of your work are you most proud of as of the current work that you've been able to do?
I would love to say my most current work, but I guess it's the Miller stuff, the Secret Invasion, because I've been known for that. I enjoyed Ultimate Hulk and Wolverine, and also my older creator-owned stuff with Silent Dragon and High Roads. Because that was the time that when you're younger, you spend more time and effort in every page, even if you're less skilled. I was less skilled before, but the passion is, I guess, more intense because you're more eager and you're still a kid, and so that's still so I want to say I'm proud of most of my stuff, save for some issues that I had to rush because of time constraints. Right. Most of the stuff.
So for me, I'm my biggest fan and my biggest critic. So every time I have to draw something, dapat matatalbugan yun nung i-drawing ko na next. That's what I do. Like, labanan ko yung X-Men ko dun na X-Men ko sa first 18, sa issue 18. Parang hindi masyadong special yung mga ginagawa nila. Dito, I'll show something na mas maganda pa dun. So it's like, what I train myself na dapat I love what in front of me. So parang every book is special to me. Like, mostly because some of it ako talaga yung nag-act, like Psylocke. Ako talaga si Psylocke. Yung mga landing kamay pag-hawak mo sa Mora. I'll take a pictures of it. Then, yun nga, the fan got so sad when they know that I act all for Psylocke. So I become the Psylocke with moves and everything. So yeah. So every book that I do, I go inside this character. I act like them. So they become special, and that for me what matters most. Like kahit anong book, kahit na book na walang may gustong magtuloy sa buong mundo, and it give it to me, I will learn to love it. So I can show to the world that this is how I do it when I have the chance to draw this character, and that's what's my special. So yeah, every book is special, and that's the beauty of it.
Thanks, guys.
Hi, Chief Communication. Could you share some of your personal... Could you share some of your personal creative processes in the panel? How you make your parang initial art into like yung ginagawa mo parang design ng
For me, because like we're gonna show later, like how we're gonna do some of our pages. But for me, like every time I read the script, minsan mostly talaga nababasa yung script kasi and that's the only time na when you receive the script, sige nga, sabahan niyo muna, walang tao dun eh. And in the restroom, yung pinaka-silent na lugar sa buong bahay mo. And when you read the script, madali lang pumasok dun sa script. And when you go inside, dun sa script, doon ko na pinipicture out kung ano yung mga ano nito, yung mga panels, this is what they do, this is what they do. Then I just, when I go out, then I do the raps, kung ano yung mga I remember. Then as I go the process, I read the script again like 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Then I just design the panel. I don't know, Neil, how you do the process?
Yeah, I mean,
I think not the CR.
Probably the CR then. But that's the hardest part actually. One of the hardest parts, not technically, but more mentally draining. Like for example, like majority of my time, or my drawing time, let's say 80%. When I'm doing the actual work, I can listen to podcasts. I can watch TV. I can do everything. But when I'm laying out I'm just doing stick figures. When I'm understanding the story and laying out the panels and where the positions are, the script, where the balloons go. That's something where I really can't concentrate if I need just music and nothing else. So in a way, that's something I don't look forward to because I can't enjoy my podcast and my TV series. But it's something that it's pretty hard mentally actually. So yeah, similar with Harvey.
Do you listen to anything in specific in order to get the pages?
No, not really. It's just background noise actually.
Para lang may ambient.
Yeah. You don't feel a bit, too lonely and isolated. Just random podcasts and random YouTube videos, debates, and whatever. So yeah, and sometimes some TV series which are, if they're easy enough to understand. If you're very talky, then I could watch them without really watching them.
I think that's the good thing. When you draw, then you listen something. Like, parang may kausap ka kahit wala. That's the simple thing to. So parang, hey, I see this one, I review this one, something like that, something like this. Like, you have to listen because you need to stay awake.
Yeah.
You need to stay awake. Because pag ikaw lang talaga may start tahimik, iba na may isip mo. You go anywhere.
Facebook, man. So whatever.
Killer, not killer.
Whatever happened to so and so? They broke the band.
Brangelina, oh my god. A lot of celebrity reacted.
When you're trying to research for a reference and then the next thing you know you're watching cat videos. Wait, sorry, he had a question earlier.
Sorry. Mikael Francisco, Jamie News Online.
I have it.
Way back when Marvel was just Stan and Steve and Jack, they employed the Marvel method of storytelling, wherein Stan would just provide the general plot, and then Steve or Jack would send him art samples and stuff, and then the process would go on, and then when the art's finalized, he adds the words. Second point, Luis Portacio wanted to make Lucas Bishop Filipino back then, but the idea changed at the last minute. And you'd also see that he would try to sneak in a few things like Colossus' jacket. My question is, how much input do you have into the storytelling process, especially since part of the DNA of Marvel is that you're storytellers?
Right now, we are more used to working on full scripts. So, number of panels are specified. So before it was actually, I think it was actually harder before because the script consists of really huge blocks of paragraphs and you break it down yourself. So I think they're more involved storytelling wise. Right now it's more, it's still, we're still very involved storytelling wise, but it's more, it's easier. It's already been cut into pieces, and you only need to make sure that the reader will not get confused with the panel progression. You make sure that there's enough space for the word balloons. You make sure that the characters are placed in such a way that the first one who talks is actually in the right side and stuff like that, and you know, make sure that you establish, you know, even if it's not written in the script, you make sure that you make an establishing shot every three or so pages. Make sure you remind the reader where they are. So you know, so these are things that as an artist you automatically do on your own, even if it's not specified. They don't have to tell you, oh, by the way, remind them that you know that they're in this room and stuff like that. So yeah, your job is to make sure that the story is conveyed as clearly as possible. And yeah, the Filipino stuff, and yeah, I guess yeah, Wills was able to sneak in a few Filipinos. I guess the background characters it was Malcolm and Randall. One of them is Pinoy. I'm just guessing. And then some people in the networks and stuff like that. So even until now, like an Asian character is still not as popular. So you know, they make the character black or white or black. Even if you know, I think black characters are still more. I don't know, like in media, it's more acceptable than let's say an Asian leading role. There was a recent TV series from AMC Badlands which tried to star an Asian character, but I'm not sure if it took off. It's really hard to I don't know to know what's the reason. Maybe it's just that you know the general audience is just not ready for an Asian lead. I don't know. And yeah.
For me, I remember Neil when they draw the Wolverine way back. There's the guy wear Cebu. Cebu. Some Chowking and some other book. And I think one of the controversial he does is the Gloria Macapagalaro is one of the So yeah, I think it's there's a time because we are artists, so we can just draw anything in there.
Yeah.
But now sometimes they're very like strict when that happens. Like for me, when I draw the Star Wars, all the aliens are drinking Red Horse or something. And Dark Hawk with CB Silbuski, Dark Hawk is wearing the Manny Pacquiao or something shirt, MP. So I do like to put something on it, like our school on high school, so that kids from our school like, oh my God, yung ano natin, nasa Young Avengers. So it will feel inspiring. It's not, but yun, nakakatakot when this company might sue you. Like, oh, why you put in there? Like, complicate everything. But because it's a very small thing, so hindi naman, wala naman silang pakialam. So, yeah, for me, those inserting and everything, making Asians there, putting some small, what do you call that one? Parang nakatagong na
Easter egg, cameo, ganyan.
Yeah, so it's just to inspire. So tell yourself that you're still a Filipino working in American industry, and putting some Filipino stuff there would inspire. Like Robert Kirkman, X-Men, working. Wolverine is getting cereal with a flavor, CC flavor. So yeah, that's the thing. That you will feel that Filipino culture is in there, and you will feel happy. I think that's the most important thing.
Kasi di ba guys, dati kasi nung naganda ni X-Men si Wills, around that time, si Colossus naka-jacket yung may Philippine flag, saka laging makulit. Yun yung talagang best example dun para sa...
Okay ba ni next week?
Okay. Sige.
Sorry guys, I have to pull out the
Yes.
presentation.
Yeah, I'll be back later, guys. I'm just gonna make a quick thing. Thank you. Thank you.
Naku, ito na star of the show.
Ay, hindi ko ito mapalitan. Parang ako na ito sunod din eh.
Sir, na kayo mga 4 p.m. So,
4 p.m. na ako? Okay. Ay, my God.
after the CD will also go.
I can answer. Go.
So you can stay if you want to.
Okay,
If you still have questions.
I'll try to answer. I will act as Leinil. I can act like Stephen. Those are my best friends. So
two people enough. There are a lot of talented Filipino artists working at Marvel. So what is it? What do you think is it about Filipino artists specifically that makes us a good fit for the House of Ideas?
If I answer your question like Leinil, rare yan eh. Parang sobrang galing. But if I answer your question as Harvey Tolibao, sa akin is like...
Split personality ka naman.
Filipino is matyaga tayo. You know, we will be known as one of the people at saan sa buong mundo. I travel around the world from New Zealand, from Guangzhou, may kitang Filipino are the hardworking people. Nakakalungkot isipin na yung mga anak nila sa Pilipinas, you know, my mom is working in the States, let's go to Starbucks, let's enjoy. Like, they don't appreciate how hardworking their parents are. And that's what's special of Filipino. So, anything, kahit saan na career, when you see a Filipino person, it's really a hardworking person. And that's what's special for us. You guys are hardworking, that's why you're here. So, yeah, it's a, I think, some of the culture are, but makikita mo talaga when you are in the States, sobrang aga, makikita mo sobrang aga ng mga Pilipino, you will feel na parang, oh, I thought I'm already a hardworking person back in the Philippines, but when you see sa Manhattan, sa New York, mga Pilipino, 4 o'clock magising na, 8 a.m. pa yung work nila because they need to travel by train and everything and something like that. Then you can see like, oh, I see myself still a lazy boy. Like why I watch every Saturday ganito mga series, parang tamad ko pala. So you need to parang hindi pa pala enough that you're already working. So I think that's what's special Filipino people. We are very hardworking and so
I came from the Empire. So I read in one of your posts that each superhero requires a specific style to be created. So which are your favorite superheroes and what specific styles do they require to render them?
Okay. So parang I think my answer is almost the same as a while ago na parang every one of them is special. So like if I have to draw X-Men, they need to be clean. Say they are like Jubilee, Salak, Storm, need to be clean. If I have to draw like the Legacy, X-Men Legacy, it's kind of like dark. So the lines of it is like kind of gritty. So when people read, like, there's something on it na hindi niya ginagawa on the other book. So when I have to draw like Ultimate X-Men with Robert Kirkman, you need to feel like there's something that Ultimate X-Men is special. How you draw the panels, how you compose all the sequence, how the faces would look like. So you need to study what you have to do. That's what's special of every book. Like Young Avengers, like gay relationship of Hulkling and Weekend. So all the lines are very smooth. You can feel the smooth, like flamboyant in feeling. So that's what you have to capture, so that the audience will like, oh my god, they can still ride with the story, like sarap naman ito, ganda ng kulay, ganda ng drawing. That's what for me is important. So everyone with boobs? No. Psylocke was one of
Pero pinaliit yung boobs, di ba, sabi?
But when I draw X-Men, Marvel tell me like, you need to have like 30 something maliit na boobs. No more 34.
So ayaw mo na si Gal Gadot, pa?
Gal Gadot. Sorry, but we love it. So yeah. So that's the thing about comic. Iba talaga, yung dapat special talaga bawat isa. Hindi talaga siya parang siyang mga babies mo, walang special lang na isa. Ito lang yung anak ko, bahala na kayo. Ayaw niyo si Duterte, di ba? So everyone, you need to love them because they are all your baby. All the comic book is like a baby. You need to take care of them, make them special so that both of these books will grow and will inspire more kids na, oh my god, ito yung character na gusto ko, ang sarap naman tingnan ito, ang ganda ng pagka-drawing. That's the thing. That's the with the artist to inspire someone else. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Okay. Hi. Okay.